Hello there, stamping friends. It's Jackie Valheis from Confident Stampers. Today, we are going to use the Sunflower Embossing Folder. Tell you, this is the hottest product out there, and it is so much fun to play with. Now, a little warning. You know me, I don't like to do things messy. We might get our fingers a little inky doing the techniques that I have to share with you today, but I think you're gonna love them and how we can make some quick and easy cards. So let's go ahead, flip the camera down, and let's get to work. So this is our embossing folder that we're using today, and you can see it's huge. I love the size of this, especially because I don't know if you can see in the camera, but we've got big sunflowers. So you, depending on the size cardstock you're using, you can position it where you want it in there. Now, I think I'm going to show you something first. Usually I play and then show you the final product. Here are two samples. Now, can you tell the difference? Can you see the difference in the two? This one here, the embossed side is up. So all the flowers are raised. Where on this one, those flowers are, they call it debossed. They're sunk in. So like our, the background part, that's the raised part. If I flip it over, this is what's on this side. Now, I'm going to start, and I got several different techniques I want to share with you. So we're going to start out with just a piece of basic white. Now, all the pieces that I'm going to emboss for you, I cut them at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just a normal quarter sheet, and then trim them down when I go to make the card. Now, I don't know if you can even see, but when you put this in here, I always like to just kind of strategically place it. I like this flower a lot right there, so I'm going to place it to make sure I pick up all of that flower in there, and I am going to go run this through the cut and emboss machine. Now notice that I have the little Stampin' Up logo up. That means the side that is up is going to be the raised part of the image, okay? And that's going to be important here in a second. So let me run this through the cut and emboss machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I really don't have room on the table for the machine. That's why I always walk over to my other table, but I thought I'd bring the whole thing here because this is what they call a 3D embossing folder, and you can tell by feeling it. It's a little bit thicker. So when you run it through the machine, you're going to use just your regular base plate, your cardstock in it. You want the fold, okay, right here to go in the machine first, and then we put the specialty plate number 4 on top, and that's how it goes through the machine. So I want to make sure I showed you that. Okay, we're going to pull this out, and look at that. I hope the camera picks it up. It is absolutely stunning, the embossing on here. Now, before we work with some cards on that, I am going to go ahead and emboss another one, and you'll see why here. This time we're going to flip it over. I want my logo down on the bottom because we're going to use the debossed side. So again, I'm going to look in here and kind of figure out what part of those sunflowers do I want, okay, with the logo down. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my plates and run that through the machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's take those off, and then we're going to see this one. So now we have two pieces that are embossed with that basic white. So here we have the embossed. It's raised up our flowers. And this one, our flowers are sunk down. I'm going to move some of this stuff here because we're going to make a little inky mess here. So you could use this just how it is to make a card. And I did that with this one. You can see I trimmed it down, added some secret C, and then I added a greeting using that more messages that I use all the time. Super, super simple. And it is so pretty. This embossing is just amazing on here. So we can stop right there. But we want to play with some ink. So I am going to take my Secret C ink pad. Now you could use any color at all, but I really like the results of this one. And we are going to, again, flower is up, okay, raised is up. And we're going to take this pad and we're going to drag it across our paper. Now, a couple of tips here. Start off and run it all the way off. That will help you not get lines, okay? And you'll see in a second. So I'm going to start off here, and I'm just going to drag it. And then I'm going to turn my cardstock, and I'm going to drag it. And I'm going to keep turning it and keep dragging it. I think I pressed really hard on that first one, but it looks really cool. Look at how it makes that flower just stand out. Now, like I said, I think I pressed a little hard. I'm going to go a little bit lighter on this one. We're going to take the deboss side. So now our flower is down. Oh, much better. And I'm going to just drag it across. And notice how I'm just spinning it each time, and this will help me get rid of any lines and any drastic markings. Okay, and we're going to turn it that way, go a couple this way, and you can just keep going and get it as dark as you want. But look at how pretty that is. Now you can really see the difference when we hold them side by side. Here, those raised parts of the leaves and the flowers are what picked up the ink. And see, I told you we're going to get a little messy today. But here, the sunk down part, the debossed part stayed whiter, or it picked up very little. So it's so pretty. Now let me grab a couple cards I made. I'm trying to wipe off some of my ink here on my hands. But you can see this one, oh, I guess I only made one here. For this one, I liked that debossed look better. So you can see I just took this piece, okay, and you can see here's the flower I kind of tried to focus on, and I cut it down, and then I just layered it with some white and popped it up with dimensionals with some white. And for the greeting on this one, that's that ephemera pack with all the greetings. I like that too for just quick and easy greetings. So there is one example of using this, and again, seeing the two different ways that you can use the secret C. Now, what I want to do is flip this paper over so we don't get any of that secret C on our hands, okay? And we are going to do the same thing but with a white ink pad. Now, before we do that, I've got 2 pieces of strawberry slush, and I'm going to go ahead and emboss these and be right back. Okay, so we've got 2 pieces here, and this one is the embossed side. Okay, flowers raised up, and here's our debossed side, so the flowers are sunk down. Now, like I said, we're going to use our, whoops, wrong one, white craft pad. Now, when you get the white craft pads, they come uninked with a re-inker, and we ink them ourselves. The reason for that and to have it uninked is because they do dry out and need re-inking quite often. So they just send it uninked, and I just ink mine whenever I want to use it. And to do that, I just take this white re-inker, and for this one, I'm going to squeeze a good amount on there. Notice how I just kind of drizzled all around. And then I like to just use a plastic spoon that I keep in my craft room and rub it in. Now, don't worry about it being, really good all the way to the edges. It's going to be just fine as long as we've got a bunch on there. Okay, so it's ready to go. Now we're going to do the exact same thing. So let's start with our embossed side. And I like to, like I said, same thing, start off and come across and just keep turning it. And all I'm doing is dragging it. Now that secret C is a super juicy pad, so it gets really dark really fast. But this is so nice because I really don't want it super white. I just want those highlights. Look at how pretty that is. So with this one, I actually like the leaves that are raised up with the white on it, which is the opposite of what I liked with the secret C. And then let's go ahead and do the debossed side. So now we've got it. The image is sunk down in there. So when I run this across, it's catching the part that's the highest, which is actually the background. And it just so happens, I think this one's super pretty as well. So I love the white. Let's bring them both in there. Can you tell the difference? I think at first glance you really don't. But if you look at this flower, those leaves have the white on it, where here the leaves are sunk down and they don't have much of the white on them. So let's bring in a card here. So here's one I finished off. Oh, look at, see, I told you I was going to be a mess. This is the one with that embossed image. So it's raised up, and I just added some basic white and basic beige. And again, there's one of those greetings from that ephemera pack. So I kind of, as I was making these cards, I went back and forth between the ephemera and the more messages. So I will have the list of all the products I use over on the blog post. You can find the link in the video description. And I'll give you all the measurements and the colors and so forth that I use for all the cards that I'm sharing with you. So there is that one. Tell you, even though it's a little messy, a card doesn't get any simpler than that. And look how pretty it is. Now, let's see. I have a couple other ones to show you. So then I just started playing with different colors. So you can see here I used, oh gosh, I can't think. The honey, oh my gosh, mine's blank. Yeah, Darling Duckling, honey, I don't know why I was stuck on that. Darling Duckling. And the same thing, here's the raised up embossed side of the flower with the white over it. And then here's the debossed. And that's very pretty too. And then this one I just cut down and added a greeting to it. So we have that one and that one. And then let's bring in, here is the one where we did white, okay, with Secret C. Now I have one other technique I want to share with you that you can do with this. And this time we're going to use a piece of the two-tone cardstock. So if you haven't used two-tone before, it's really cool. And you can see here the two different sides. Okay, I think this is Fresh Freesia. Now, I want to make sure that I have the embossed side up, okay? So logo up, we're gonna position this. I want the dark side of my paper in there. So we're cardstock. We're gonna stick this where we want it. Let's let's pick up about right there. And I'll go run this through the cut and emboss machine and I'll be right back. Okay, there is our piece. And then we're going to just take a sanding block. Now I just get these on Amazon. Over on the blog post, I'll have a link to my favorite products that you can find over on Amazon that'll help you with your crafting. This is one of them. And all I'm going to do is take that sanding block and lightly rub it over our flowers. Okay, now you can see it's kind of picking up the areas that are the most raised. Okay, and this one, because there's so much detail, it doesn't pick up a whole lot because kind of like the edges and tips of those flowers are going to be higher than the whole petal itself. But it just gives it some, I guess, more of a distressed look, okay? And then let's flip it over, and if we do the back side, and notice that this side's lighter, so we'll see, but now we're picking up more like the background around the flowers. So it gives it a totally different look. Now, I haven't completed a card yet with the two-tone, okay, like I did with these. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this after I'm done with the video, and you're gonna have to go over to that blog post to see the finished product using the two-tone. But I'll use kind of the same layout. I'll just add a greeting to it because I really wanna emphasize quick and easy. Emboss your cardstock, add a little ink to it, or just leave it white. And you can finish off a really beautiful, quick and easy card. So I hope you like this fun little technique. And this would work actually with any of your, especially 3D embossing folders, because you want to make sure you have a good raised edge that'll pick up that ink as you drag it across. So check out the blog post. Oh, before I go, I forgot. See, I have so many cards here. Here's another one. For this one, this is the Darling Duckling. See, I had to think again. Cardstock, and I took my pecan pie. Okay, it's over the deboss side, so the flowers are sunk down. Took the pecan pie over it, and look at how it really makes those flowers pop. I love how that one looks as well. So there we go. All kinds of ideas using the sunflower embossing folder. So check out the blog post, and if you would like to order this folder, I'll tell you, it's a hot item right now. In the event that it shows currently unavailable. As of the recording of this video, it was available. So make sure Stampin' Up! Has a new feature. If something's unavailable, you can put your email address in, and they'll notify you. So this is definitely a must-have in your craft stash. So thanks for watching, friends. We'll be stamping again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.